Good morning, Rahim. Welcome, and thank you for visiting me at my office here. As you can tell, I'm doing some engineering work for aerospace companies. I've been an engineer for the last 32 years, but I've lived in the United States for the last 40 years. I've been married to my wife, Wendy, Dr. Wendy Rashidi, for the last 39 years, and she has her own medical practice. But at the same time, we are working professionally. We also have been trying to educate the American public about the existence of 40 million Kurds in the Middle East, which today they have been in the news quite a bit. And as you know, they have been under the attack of the ISIS. Therefore, more than ever, we have to make sure that the United States government and various agencies, as well as the American public, are aware of the existence of the Kurdish people and the struggle they are putting up against the ISIS. In order to achieve this objective, to provide educational material about Kurds to the American public, in 1997 we started an organization called Kurdish American Education Society, which you can see the logo of it on the wall there. The purpose of the Kurdish American Education Society has been to let the American public know about Kurds and their existence throughout history for the last 4,000 years at least. It dates back to culturally, the Kurds are the descendant of the Medes, that recorded history goes back to 3,700 years ago. But prior to that, there has been many other indigenous cultures who have lived in the region. So therefore, the present identity of the Kurdish people are a combination of the Medic culture as well as the indigenous people of the Taurus and the Zagros Mountains. And as you can tell, Islam is a new force, only about 1,400 years old, that rose in the Middle East. However, the existence of religious minorities, for example, we call them religious minorities, such as Yaristan and Izadis, who are today under attack by the ISIS, predates Islam quite a bit, by at least 2,000 years. Unfortunately, we have experienced a rise of Islamic fundamentalism in the Middle East, to the point where to the east of Kurdistan is Islamic state of Iran, to the north of Kurdistan is the Islamic state of Turkey, to the west of Kurdistan, as we can see today, the rise of ISIS is on the rise, and then to the south of Kurdistan we have the Islamic State of Iraq as well as the Arab countries. Therefore, Kurdistan has been encircled by these fundamental forces of Islam, which again, we do not believe that all Muslims are bad or all Muslims are aggressive the way they have shown in the last a few months, and their attacks against the religious minorities, the Christians and the Izadis. Therefore, our request of the United States population is, please understand that Kurds have been there for many, many centuries, and they deserve. As a last frontier, in my opinion, is a confrontation between a fundamental force and a liberal force, between humanity and inhumanity. And I believe the survival of the Western civilization that grew out from Kurdistan is at stake today, is extremely at danger. If Kurdistan falls, so goes the rest of the world, Europe, and the Western civilization. So from the United States, we would like to ask, please do heed the call of the Kurdish independence, provide support. There is a legitimate history of the Kurdish struggle for independence that goes back to the World War I and before that. From the Congress of the United States, we are asking that please do pressure the White House to supply whatever necessary material is required to support the Kurdish Peshmerga, the Kurdistan. From the United Nations, we are asking for humanitarian aids to provide to the Izadis, and also to uphold the spirit of the Charter of the United Nations, the right to self-determination, and help the Kurdish people to prepare for a democratic referendum by which they would be asked whether they want to stay part of the Iraq or do they want to establish their own independence. From the European Union, we are asking that you are a neighbor to the Middle East, It is in your long-term benefit and advantage to provide humanitarian and political support to the Kurdish government if they do decide, as a result of a referendum, to declare independence. Therefore, we also ask our own people, the Kurdish people, that they have put up a heroic struggle against these reactionary forces of ISIS. Be brave. You have shown your bravery throughout history. Continue to be brave to defend your homeland, our homeland. The world is watching, and by the goodwill of God and goodwill of Allah, not the bad will of Allah, and the goodwill of the humanity, the Kurdistan will prevail and we will reach freedom. Thank you.